What's up, everyone? All right, best day of trading in, geez, like must be at least a month. Finishing the morning up over $8,000. Finally, a big green day. And you know what? Today's a day where I made probably about 14. Well, I think I made about 12,000. Had about $4,000 in losers cumulative. So I'm green, but I did push it a little bit. I was a little aggressive, gave back a little profit off the top, and I really thought I could have done better today. And I think that's the thing that is going to always keep driving me as a trader. The fact that, yeah, 8,000 is good, but I could have done better. And so now I'm eager for the next hot day to see if I can do a little bit better. That's the way it is. All right. So, anyways, we're going to do the midday recap. Any questions, any comments, leave them below. I've got oatmeal and toast. This is going to be a great day. Nothing starts the day better than a little orange juice. What's up, everyone? All right, so midday market recap. Today is the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th day of trading from California. Where's my pen? I can't make it official in my journal or in my calendar until I get a pen, but whatever. All right, so finishing the morning here, 5th day of trading from California, up $8,253.51. Give myself a pat on the back for that one. It's a good day. I'll sort by the gainers. You can see here, biggest win was $9,272 on CCCL, 96,000 shares total traded. So that's buying and selling. So that's 48,000 shares total that I bought. And that's across probably like 7 trades. So, taking an average of 6,000 shares, 7,000 on each trade, traded it 7 times. So the way they count quantity is if you buy it and you sell it, that's how many shares you traded. And so you pay ECN fees on each share. So I didn't buy 96,000 shares, but between buying and selling and between all the trades. So, today's kind of interesting because basically all of my profits are from one stock, and then all of this down here is pretty much a wash, right? Because I'm up 8,200. Actually, it's a net loss of 1,000. But it's not like the day started with a $9,200 winner, and then I kept trading. It started with actually one small $250 trade. That was my first trade of the day, $250. And I kept going, and I kept going, and I kept going, and I just, I basically worked my way up to up about 2,800, and then I lost 1,000 and was up only 1,800. Lost another 300, was up only 1,500, and was like, all right, if I don't get another green trade, I'm gonna have to stop. Got a green trade, and then boom, I was up like, 4 grand, up 5 grand, up 6 grand, up 7 grand, up 8 grand, and then lost 2,000. I was up only 6,000. And then took one more trade, and it was a $3,000 winner, and was up 9,000. Took one more trade, 2 more trades, gave back another 1,000. So, it's kind of up, down, up, down, up, down, but finished up $8,253. And, as I said during kind of the opening to this recap, I could have done better today. I know I could have. It's one of those things which is really cool about trading. This is a great day, but I know I could have played a little better. I think playing because I'm thinking of like sports. It's kind of like game time. The bell rings, I'm out on the court, and we played a good game today, and we won. But a couple. Well, now we can't. Are we talking about football? Or are we talking about basketball? Well, let's stay put. So basketball, we had a couple of fouls. We screwed up a little bit here and there. Missed a couple of opportunities. A couple nice 3-point shots. Totally missed them. Just air. Didn't even hit the backboard. Couple losses. So I can always get better, and that's the thing that keeps driving me. I want to be the best trader that I can be. I'm not trying to be the best trader in the world. I don't know who that is. I wouldn't even, I really have no idea. And of course the line starts to blur between, are you a trader or are you an investor? You don't call Warren Buffett a trader because he's an investor, but at a certain point, when you get to the top of the spectrum, if you're making $10 million a year as a trader, you're probably also going to be kind of branching into investing as well. So anyways, that's a side note. But so today started just like any other day. All right, really. I mean, today is just a regular day. I didn't do anything differently today, except that I was a little more aggressive because the market was hot. That was it. So today started by looking at the gap scanner. All right, so remember, now for those of you who are in the Warrior Starter class, in the Warrior Pro class, those of you who have attended one of our workshops, what you'll know is that I spent the first 2 years of my career as a trader struggling to make any money at all. Made no money in my first 2 years. I mean, I made money, lost money, made money, lost money, up and down, and I was not profitable. And then I made a discovery. I realized that when I looked at all of my trades and then I focused in on all of the winning trades, they all shared something in common. All of those winning trades were on stocks that were up more than 20 to 30% on the day that I traded them. And so for me, that was a big eye opener. I was like, okay, well, if I'm making money on the stocks that are making big moves, then maybe I should stop trading stocks like Apple. Apple doesn't move 20 and 30% each day, but I was trading it all the time. And I would say, well, look, that's a big move right there. You know, I should be trading it. But the problem was, and still is, Apple is not generally easy to trade. It's traded by high frequency traders, algorithms, hedge funds, institutional traders. They dominate these types of stocks. They're choppy and they don't trade easily. So this isn't where I was making my money. I was making my money on stocks like, well, what we saw yesterday, YECO. Now, this is an extreme example, but this is a stock that went from a low of $1.75 to a high of $13 in just a couple of hours. After hours trading, it hit a high of $17.30. That's crazy. But the reality is, you actually see this, a couple times a month. We see big moves like this. And so yesterday, YECO makes this huge move. And so today I'm like, all right, I'm looking to see if YECO will continue going higher. And it kind of did. It sort of dropped down and then it popped back up. But I was also asking myself, will there be other stocks that are strong because YECO was strong yesterday? And today was an example of learning. Well, it's not for me learning, but today was an example of capitalizing on FOMO, the fear of missing out, rather than falling victim to it. So what I mean by capitalizing on it, today's a day where I knew emotions would be running pretty hot in the market because yesterday YECO was so crazy. I knew traders who missed that move would be looking today for the next one that starts to take off. And even traders who traded the move are going to think, well, I could have made more on it. I could have done better on it, the same way that I think. And so they're going to be looking for the next stock to pop up to trade it even better, to buy earlier, to hold it longer, try to capitalize on the move. So expecting that type of exuberance in the market, I was looking for anything that might show signs of strength. So yes, YECO was on watch for continuation, but I didn't end up trading it. I didn't see a low risk opportunity. Our gap scanner right here, this scanner is showing me all of the stocks in the entire US stock market that are going to be opening more than 5%. So one of the things I learned after my first 2 years of struggling is that if a stock is opening more than 5%, there's a really good chance it'll be a 20 to 30% mover by the end of the day. So the fact that it's up 5%, that's showing early signs of strength, which could give me an opportunity to buy it early and then ride the momentum. So PTI, well, this is gapping up 212%. So what do you do when a stock's gapping up 200%? Do you just figure, well, it's already up so much, I can't trade it, I can't buy it? I don't think that way. I think that it still presents opportunity. That was at $5.91 and it was up 212%, and it hit a high of $8.38, so it continued higher. So let me put this in here, PTI. It's currently up 280%. The bell rang and it continued. It kept squeezing up. All right, so on this one, I actually did take a trade right out of the gates. This is a setup that I call the red to green move. I bought the dip out of the gates. So the bell rang, it dipped down, and as it surged back up, as you can see here, I jumped in, and this was just a small winner of only $250. But that gets my day started. I generally sometimes I'll start with high risk on my first trade, but only if it's a really perfect setup. And this one I was a little nervous about. Buying anything that's red to green, the fact that it went red shows early weakness. So that setup I'm already a little more cautious on. And today I just wanted to start by building a cushion. So first trade, 250 bucks. All right, nice green trade. Now, the next stock on the scanner that we were watching, this one, ECYT, wasn't interested in it because it's too expensive. All right, so no trades on that one. I focus on stocks under $10. All right, so ECYT was off the list. I'll draw the line there. ORPN was on the list as a maybe, gapping up 40%. That's pretty nice. Right out of the gates, you can see the bell rang. It actually surged up a little bit, but it didn't hold up very well. I didn't end up taking a trade on it. I just ended up watching another stock that I'll show you in a second. MTNB, I didn't have interest in this one. It's a little on the cheaper side. I don't usually go below $1.50 typically. And the float is 81 million shares. That's the number of shares available to trade. That's a little high. High level of supply, needs an incredibly high level of demand to make a big move. I didn't think we would have it. This one was too cheap. This one, the float 63 million shares, so wasn't interested. And now we have CCCL. CCCL was really strong yesterday. So why was it so strong yesterday? There was actually no news on it. No news, but it's also a Chinese company. And YECO was a Chinese company. And sometimes, very often, you'll notice that these stocks kind of will just have sympathy momentum. And they can have absolutely nothing to do with each other, which is ridiculous. And they still have sympathy momentum. We saw this with shipping stocks at one point. We had like 7 different shipping stocks that were all squeezing up. Just because one's strong, the others were strong. The others were not necessarily actually strong companies. Just because their other company in the same sector was strong didn't mean they were strong. But the way traders kind of react, it's one strong, I don't want to miss the next opportunity, and so they jump in. So CCCL, strong yesterday and strong in the pre-market trading session. So on this one, I was watching it out of the gates, and basically as soon as the bell rang, it started surging up. Now today I have so many trades, as you can see. I traded 8 different stocks, so many executions. I'm not going to go through each individual trade because it would take like 4 hours, but what we'll do is we'll just kind of look at a couple of the highlights, and CCCL is obviously one of them. So on my first trade on it, I jumped in at just under $3. All right, so I'm in right here as it's surging up. I like to buy stocks at $0.50 and whole dollars. There's psychological areas of resistance, and when you can break a psychological area of resistance, that now becomes support. So if I buy something like 290 or 295, I'm expecting it will break 3, and then once it breaks 3, it'll stay above 3. And if it breaks down below 3, then I get right back out, break even, which is fine. So in this one, I'm in at 297. It squeezes up to 350. Up to a high of 365, and right through here I'm scalping it. So I'm jumping in, taking profit, getting back out, getting back in at 350, selling at 360. It drops down, getting back in 385 for the move over 4, and just basically scalping these breakouts right here. We squeezed up to a high of $6. Now on this stock, I made 2,800 bucks, basically maybe it was actually a little over 3,000. Pretty much right out of the gates on this handful of trades here. And then I lost 1,000. I had a trade that ended up being a red trade. I bought it too high. I was buying it for the break of $6 right here, and it went to 604, didn't hold that level, and dropped back down. So I ended up taking a loss here. And at that point, that was my first loss of the day, and I was like, all right. Actually, I took a loss on BioC, but this was a very small loss. But anyways, this was my first kind of big loss in the day, and I was like, all right, it's time to slow down. I just went from being up like $3,000 on the day, 2,800, to being up only $1,800. So I need to ease up for a second. Let's take a breath. Let's see what can happen. All right, so while that's going on, other stocks are squeezing up, and they're no longer really based on my gap scanner, but based on this high of day momentum scanner. So this scanner here, this is looking at stocks that are moving up right now. So CCCL obviously was on here. YECO was on there. OPGN was on there. PTI was on there. All right, so boom, JMU. JMU is on there, and I jump in. I jump in for a quick scalp, 6,000 shares, as you can see right here. JMU, I'm in with 6,000 shares, and I made 200 bucks. So, like whatever, 3 cents, 3.5 cents per share. It ended up being a really small winner. It didn't really hold up super well on my first trade. So JMU, I jump in it. It ends up hitting a high. This was at $1.50. It ends up hitting a high of $2.55, but I didn't do super well on it there. So anyways, small winner on that one. VJet, another one pops up on the scanner. I look at it and boom, I jump in. $419. This one popped up to 3. I jumped in right as it was squeezing up. Couldn't break over 3. Took my profit as it dipped back down. All right, next one, that's that. CCCL, JMU on the scans. All right, those are strong. Craig hits the scanners. CREG hits the scans, and boom, I jump in at, on this one, I think I jumped in at, I want to say I waited till it got closer to $2. But I jumped in this one and made $1,500 on my first trade. And then I got back in, and that was right here. I got back in a little bit later for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. I actually got filled at 25. I got kind of a high order, and it dropped here back down to $2. So I lost, $1,200 on that trade. So gave back the profit on that one. CADC hits the scanners. I see it. I jump in. That's another Chinese stock, as you can see right here. It hits a high of 634, drops back down. I lose $552 on it. So I didn't get really good follow through on that one. And then CLWT, this was the one that was my biggest loss. I jumped in it for the break of $5 right here. It hits 507 and then drops all the way back down to like 450. So on that one, I lost 1,500 bucks. And at this point in the day, I was sort of starting to get a little bit, nervous that I was having a couple of losses. CCCL, it continues going up. Pull this back on the 1-minute chart. Actually, yeah, we'll pull it back to the 1-minute chart. So I kept scalping CCCL. So it's kind of funny because I was taking some of these trades on the side. CCCL was strong, and I was like, okay, which one of these other stocks are also going to be strong? And in total, I didn't really do very well on them, right? Because I had one big loss, one smaller one. I didn't really have any other big winners. Craig was a big winner on my first trade, but then I gave it back on the second one. So the trade on CCCL, the ones that were the biggest, right in here, scalping here, and then scalping right here on the squeeze up from 450. I was in, added at 450, added at $5. It squeezes up all the way to 604, right? So nice squeeze there. It pulls back, and then right here I get back in. So on this one, I jumped back in. Where was my entry? I got back in. I was watching for the break over 518. I didn't get filled. Pops up to 550. I didn't get filled again, but I add at 580 and $6. So now I'm in the stock right around here. As it squeezes up on this push all the way up to 645, I'm throwing out my orders on the ask, scaling out into the squeeze. I'm up 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents. I'm putting out the orders. I'm all out. I look at the P&L, and I'm up $9,000 on the name. And that was the one that finally gave me my big winner. So this was, let's see, if I back this up, this was the big winner just because I had the most size on this trade. This was the biggest move, but I didn't have as much share size. I think on this move right here, actually, I made maybe about $3,000. I think in this first push, I made about 2,800. Then I had the that $1,000 loss. It wasn't up here. It must have been in this area. Maybe it was around 943. And then made back that loss on this push. Got myself up to like 4 or 5 grand. Pulled back here. Got back in here, and then that was the big move. So just a crazy day. I mean, it was wild, and there was just so much moving that I had to be totally in the zone. Just one stock to the next one, to the next one, looking at the level 2, looking at the time and sales, knowing that this was the right type of day for me to be aggressive. And 6 months ago on a day like today, I might have made $25,000 or $30,000. I felt like, I don't know, I I think the issue for me on CCCL was that there was no news on it. So I didn't want to go, I didn't take 15,000 shares. My biggest position was 9,000, and that was on that trade right here. The rest of these were 3,000 and 6,000 share positions. It's like I liked the idea of it, but without news, I was iffy. And with it running because YECO was strong, the fact that YECO was starting to sell off made me kind of like unsure if this is going to keep going. And of course now CCCL, if we look back at where we're at now, it has actually pulled back quite a bit. So, the thing with trading, of course, you never know how high they're going to go, and you don't know when something is going to, suddenly drop. So you take your profit along the way. It's the right thing to do. And today I'll feel good that I'm finishing the day in the green, $8,000. So Thursdays have been, well, last Thursday was not great, but the Thursday before that I made $5,000. So a couple of good Thursdays here, but this was my first $8,000 day in a while. I didn't have any big days in September. August I had, I think my biggest day was like 5,000, and then I have to go back to July to my last $8,000 day. I made 8,000 on the 10th, 8,000 on the 18th, and 9,500 on the 24th. So, and I had another 8,000 day. So I had actually, let's see, I had one, wow, I had an 8,000. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 $8,000 days in the month of July. That was a pretty hot month, looking back at it. June was the last day I was above 10,000. I had two $10,000 days in June. So yeah, just I don't know, just crazy. But you know what? Market's starting to heat up, getting some wins, and that's what we expect going into November and December. So I hope you guys did well today. Any questions, any comments, leave them below. We'll come back through and answer them later. And I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning, 9:15 in the chat room. All right, I'll see you guys in the morning.
If you're still watching, you must have really enjoyed that video. So why not subscribe and get email alerts anytime I upload new content. Remember, when you subscribe, you become a member of the Warrior Trading family.